But right now, let's get to our first reborn subject, Pontiac's rendition of General Motors' J-Body Compact, this 2000 Sunbird Turbo. Now, like the Ford EXP we tested last week, the initial GMJ cars were raked over the coals by the automotive press. Everybody said here was yet another Detroit small car promise gone by the boards. Oh, it had some things going for it, front-wheel drive, good interior room, and at least Pontiac used the latest methods of design and manufacturing. But then there were those hordes of cheaper, more spirited Japanese cars. With that kind of competition, J's were seen as just too little and too slow for the price. The fact is, former Sunbirds were expensive slugs, but no more. Sales of the Pontiac 2000 Sunbird are now taking off, thanks in part to the scarcity and rising prices of imports and to the addition of substantially more get-up-and-go. In the case of this rather ordinary-looking SE four-door, it's an extraordinary boost in performance that few can match. What Pontiac has done is take their sturdy 1.8-liter four-cylinder that's actually built for them by GM Brazil and raise its horsepower stakes from a healthy 84 to a muscle-bound 150, a 79% increase. Since the basic engine was already of a high-revving overhead cam design, changes are relatively few. A GM Bosch multi-port fuel injection system was fitted along with new pistons and camshaft. Next, a small Garrett turbocharger that is supposed to greatly reduce turbo lag. It does. In fact, power builds so quickly that the maximum 150 pounds of torque is delivered at only 2,800 RPM. The electronically controlled boost tops out at 9 pounds per square inch as the Sunbird zooms off with lightning-like acceleration times. 0 to 60 in 9 seconds is a Pontiac claim we hereby confirm. Other road running results are just as impressive. Passing former models of the 2000 will be a breeze. It's a scant 3.7 seconds from 40 to 55 miles per hour. Plus, a quarter mile was eclipsed in only 15.7 seconds. But the terminal velocity of 78 does denote an all-bottom-end power band. Mash the throttle and the Sunbird tries to catapult from the pavement. Unfortunately, the trajectory is far from linear. In power-on turns, you fight a pronounced amount of torque steer. Pull around an intersection with a jackrabbit start, and you'll likely find yourself going one lane too far. The power surge is domineering. However, overall handling is quite good, with the suspension upgrades almost matching the engines. The inclusion of Fiero cast wheels and 60 Series Eagle GT tires allow for flypaper-like traction, as the quick but too light power rack and pinion steering requires minimal driver input for proper navigation. On another front, GM has been working overtime to cure the criticisms they've received on their front drive model braking systems. As proof, our Sunbird stopped the surest of any of their products yet. While distances from 55 were a short 120 feet on average, they were also straight with no rear lockup. Braking friction seems much more biased towards the front wheels than other J cars we've tested. Cosmetic changes for the 1984 Sunbird are also notable. All models receive new grills, with the upline LE and SE series featuring a 6-headlight treatment similar to the larger 6000 STE. While the turbo package is available now in a 2-door hatch and eventually in a Sunbird ragtop, the kinship to the STE actually makes this 4-door body rather appropriate for so much performance. It's just Pontiac saying again that Americans can build practical world-class sports sedans too. And indeed, there's a lot of practicality in the Sunbird's 4-door body style. GM uses a longer wheelbase for its small cars than most competitors, which translates into wide front doors and enough legroom for 6-footers. Our car's fully reclining power bucket seats offered good side and back support. They needed only a bit more foam in the rear of the bottom cushions to be perfect. In fact, the back seat has the firmness we're looking for. The narrow bench will accommodate 2 adults. The doors are smallish and step-over sills high, but again, leg and headroom are more generous than most other cars in this class. But Pontiac wants the 2000 Sunbird Turbo to be more an enthusiast machine than fast family car. So they've crammed all the demanded instrumentation onto the standard J-Car dash. While the speedometer, fuel, boost, and tach are clear as a bell, the oil pressure and water temp readouts are too small and cluttered, and the condition of the electrical system is left to an idiot light. A 4-speed manual transaxle is offered with the Sunbird turbo motor, but our car came with a 3-speed automatic. While I like the huge shift handle, others may find it too He-Man and cumbersome to use. Easier to take is the Sunbird Turbo's fuel economy. With EPA ratings of 23 city and 33 highway for the automatic, it's hard to imagine how a car with such beast-like acceleration could still manage 25 on our test loop. The base price for the Sunbird is $6,675, with the turbocharger and handling package adding $1,546 more. So it's possible to have this little road warrior for a bit over $8 grand. Of course, our goodie-laden car came in at $12,000, but that's not out of sight in the world of turbocharged cars. But out of sight of everything, except perhaps a policeman's radar, is what you can be in the Pontiac 2000 Sunbird Turbo. This is one of the easiest cars to get a ticket in we've seen. And except for the pavement-jumping torque steer, it's one of the most potent efforts yet from Pontiac.